We got a fairly long question from Carl, and I think it's going to be worth the time. I'm a 34-year-old former competitive distance runner, mostly steeplechase. At the pinnacle of my career, I was a first-team Division I All-American. Good. Competed at the old Hayward Field for the Olympic trials. Now I'm a father of a 2-year-old, and I work full-time. Life happens. I still love to run and get out 6 days a week. I also lift 2 to 3 times a week, and I think that's great, which I also enjoy. But I do not have the time, bandwidth, energy to log 100 plus miles a week and the necessary recovery, honestly, more so the recovery aspect, to be as good as I once was. Most of my training and lifestyle is geared toward trying to be as healthy and strong as I can for years to come, which is great, but it doesn't really scratch the itch I have to compete at times and leaves me a little bored. The challenge now is training appropriately hard while knowing that I've already run as fast as I can in my life. I don't know about that, but yeah, I mean, that would be common, but you can still do better. It's hard mentally to hold back and adjust to my current level. My question for you is, how did you manage these transitions mentally as you continue to compete beyond your prime in the discus and strength events? Well, the first thing is you're a collegiate athlete and you're a runner, so we're assuming you're pretty smart. You got to use this more. You got to think more. You got to use your brains more. With your 6 runs a week, the first thing I would question you is, what days are you doing the hills? Because, it's all about the biggest bang for the buck once you have those little ones chasing you around and eating up all your time. For me, what helped the most is that I set up a home gym. So I got rid of that commute time. I used to train with my buddy John, and I would drive probably 15, 20 minutes to get to the gym. We would work out, and then I always felt like I was just, since I drove to the gym, I had to work out an hour and then drive home. So we're looking at, 2-hour commitments, 3, 4, 5 times a week, where honestly, I wasn't really doing much except driving for 40 minutes and then just wasting time. The busier I got, the better I got. In my book, Easy Strength Omni book, I talk about moving down to lifting just 2 days a week and just focusing on the big ones and jumps right after. Man, it completely changed my career. So I would say first, home gym, come up with some workouts that make a lot of sense to you for your home gym. 2 to 3 times a week, as you already noticed, but train at home. Next, I think you're going to have a hard hill day or hard sprint day at least once a week. You need a big garbage miles day. In fact, I would compete if I were you. I don't know if there's still those, we used to call them bagel runs, but those 5, every weekend there's a 5 and 10K. I'd love to see you get involved in those. But the most important thing, like when it comes to recovery, on my 40th birthday, I bought myself a hot tub. I have a sauna right there. I have foam rollers and all these different things. So there are some good answers. Invest in recovery tools, invest in a home gym, compete as appropriate as often as you can. The other things I'm going to ask you, what's your shopping list look like? What's your menu for the week look like? Because the more you organize and plan things, every Tuesday night, I get a delivery of fruits and vegetables from this place that specializes in delivering fruits and vegetables. So if I shop on Sunday, my Sunday shop, I know that on Tuesday night, I'm going to get a whole new swath of veggies and fruit without even having to think about it. You've got to use your toolkit. You've got to think things through a little bit more. I am amazed at how much a breakfast and dinner menu help me compete. Because if I'm in my home gym doing a quick workout, I know I have 12 to 15 minutes while that thing cooks or boils or whatever it is, okay? And it gave me 12 to 15 minutes where I was cooking dinner, but also able to do, thick bar deadlifts and incline bench press or whatever it is. And a whole other area that I guarantee most of us miss is, what's your meditation practice like? What are you doing up here? I use two, and I've mentioned it many times in the podcast. I use the 1 moment meditation, the 1 minute check-in. And then I also use brain.fm. And I really think there's great value in teaching yourself to fall asleep at will, fall asleep deeply and soundly at night. Even with 2-year-olds, they're going to have their own opinion about that. But at least you can practice getting to sleep and getting your relaxation time. I mean, if you decide to invest in a hot tub and a cold plunge and a sauna and an infrared sauna and this and that, that's great. And I respect it. But let me just finish up my point here with this. It's great to have all that stuff, but you have to use it. It's great to have the hot tub, but you have to plan in to use it. So in a sense, I want you to also think about a weekly menu, if you will, of on the day I run hills, that's the night I take the long hot bath. The day I do X, that's the night I take the extended cold shower or ice plunge. Come up with I would schedule a pedicure every 2 weeks as a runner. Get in there, get the nails cleaned up, get the dead skin off, and then get that wonderful massage that goes along with it. Plan these things, plan the recovery. On the day I lift and run, my recovery that day is the vibrating gun. On the days I do this, that's the day I meditate for half an hour, not for 1 minute. I hope to help. I did everything I just said, and it kept me going a long time. Thank you. Fun question. Reach out to me in the future. Let me know how this goes, okay?